Welcome back everyone to the Strategic Roadmap Part 2. So in this section, we're going to learn more about filling in the spaces in the roadmap. One of the things that I'd like to share with you, we spoke about this before, as learning how to develop your business plan, using it as a work plan, and also using it as your business strategy. So business strategy is very important because without a strategy, you're ordinary. You're going to be one of those companies that will just blend in. So you have to think about, what are my competitive advantages? For your strategy, what are my competitive advantage? What can I do better than anybody else? So we met a company that said that what they do is they just use 2 ingredients to make a product. And to us, that was easy to copy. It didn't have anything significantly different, so anybody could get into that market. So think about those things in your strategic discussion with your advisor. The other thing I wanted to share with you about this tool is that you are learning how to use Microsoft Project. So the layout that we have done here is very similar to Microsoft Project. So if you want to look at Microsoft Project or whatever the other project spreadsheets are, you would have already known a lot about how to develop it. They have the same things, the cost, the resources, so you would be well on your way. So in this section of the strategic roadmap, I want to give you some hints as to the things that you should do and the things that you should avoid. So under the things you should do, I had already said in the previous presentation that you want to be able to add your tasks or the things that you're going to be doing to achieve this year's objective. One of the things I did with a company we started to work with lately was I asked them to put together for me a list of things that they think they need to do. So I'm gonna bring up that list, but just to say that Control New for new spreadsheet. If your list included things like hire a manager, organizational chart, research, competition, develop new packaging, purchase QuickBooks for accounting, outsource accounting, identify new markets, identify distributors. So if you have a list, then what you can do is you can put the categories in the list. So this is HR, organizational chart is HR, research, that's marketing, develop new packaging, product development, purchase QuickBooks, that would be accounting, outsource accounting, identify new markets, identify new distributors. And you want to also product test, because your objective is to find 6 new products, right? You may want to do product sampling. So let's just put this under product development and this under product development. So if you had a list, you can easily put categories for the action items and you can sort them by column A. And that way you'll have all the accounting tasks together. You'll have your distribution tasks together, HR tasks together, and your marketing tasks together. So you could now put you could now put your marketing things under marketing. You could put, there wasn't something here for distribution, so let's make a heading for distribution. Let's put it under, you see, I'm also identifying new headings. I can have a heading for distribution. You can change the numbers afterwards. And you could have a section for sales. So distribution would be identifying new distribution, new distributors. We didn't put anything here for sales, but I'm just going to put in hire sales team. We put in marketing already, and we need product development, and I don't see product development as one of the categories. I think there's 3 of them, so let me put in another row. So these are going to be called product development. Okay. As I said, we're going to change this numbering when we're done. So once you've done this, you need to sort your task under headings so that the sales team is one of the things you need to do in order to achieve your sales. And as you can see, I fudge around just like anybody else to be able to update my sheet. I have to search for things just like everybody else. So let's just move this back one and move these subheadings in so that they look like subheadings. Okay. I'm always a stickler for making your documents look professional. So where you use capital letters to start something, you use it consistently. Okay. I could have put e-commerce on the sales. This is going to move over a bit. So keep your spreadsheets professional looking. It's a practice that you want to develop. Don't get used to using sloppy looking, different font size, different font styles. Keep your document professional. It speaks a lot about you. And when you start to use these documents for banking to get money, you don't want to at that time start to work on the tidiness. You'll forget something. So practice the good habit of having professional looking spreadsheets. Whenever you put in a line, always remember to check that your formula captured from top to bottom, because when you add things to the top or the bottom, your formulas can get thrown out. And then you update it right across. Okay, so that's one of the do's to make sure that you are consulting your headings. Now, in order to do that, this isn't going to take you 10 o'clock one night, you're going to do this. It is extremely important that you use your team to do a brainstorming session. So you get your advisors at the table, you get your workers at the table, and you may get a few independent people at the table. So this may mean that they may not even be advisors. They could be just someone who knows a lot about the subject matter. And then you have a healthy brainstorm about it. And then you get the minds moving. In your meeting, do not discount things that may not appear to be a good idea. Because sometimes the best ideas come from the people who have the least to say. But allow everybody, maybe you could give them some time to jot down what needs to be done to achieve your objective, but make sure you discuss your objective so that everybody knows what they're working on, and they didn't just give you some random things about how to run your business. It can be random things how to run your business if it will make you run a better business to achieve your objective, but engage everybody's mind. Go around the room, make sure everybody's had a chance to have an input. You could have them prepared from the night before or the day before to come to the meeting. So that's the second thing about what I've written down about brainstorming as one of the things to do. One of the things you should not do is nobody should come to the meeting empty-handed. If you're going to a potluck, nobody should come to the potluck with no food. Even if it's a bread, everybody needs to come with something. And you emphasize that. You don't come to sit and listen. Everybody must contribute. So that's very important. The next thing, and I've mentioned this before too, is that you want to be able to maintain your activities to be more at a strategic level. So you identify new distributors. That's strategic. You may need to identify qualities of new distributor. You may want to go about their van size, license, so that might be a subcategory of identifying new distributors. So these are strategic things. You're not just looking for a man with a van. You may be looking for a man with a van that has an open general, that he already distributes to similar markets. You may want to say that he must have a pleasant countenance. These are strategic things. These are the things you discuss in your war room, and you will have it. You want to be competitive in the marketplace. So this is where you build your strategy in, as opposed to putting something operational like distribute 5 days a week. That's operational. Don't do this. Don't do this. Keep your tasks very high level, very strategic. Of course, you may say, how is that attributable to your objective to develop 6 competitive new products? Your objective is to be successfully. Okay? So you can build out your objective as you go along. Do you want 6 new products that just sit down in the storeroom and don't sell? You want to make sure that they're competitive and that you can distribute them. The third thing to notice is that you must use your resources well. So this is the resource column, and you need to know the strengths of your advisor. You need to know who is going to give you more time of day. You may want to add somebody to your advisory committee who is a expert in the field of baking, for example, in this case, or in marketing, if you find that marketing is very important. So you can add people. Make sure, however, that we don't see Mary James doing everything. That would be bad, because it means Mary Jane would be overwhelmed. Don't put your advisors either. Find people on your team in your organizations who might have special skills and who can assist. You might have someone who is good at product testing. They might say, boy, I have a little market and I can do some testing for you out in the market. They understand how to use SurveyMonkey. This is important for more than one reason. One, you're not running anybody ragged. But two, and this is very important, you need to use your team. If you employ 3 people to your company, you must learn how to divide and conquer. John can do this, Mary can do that. Everybody has talent. Identify the talents that your team has and encourage them to use it. This is a part of the program that you're going to enjoy. You're going to make some of your workers enjoy their work because they're doing what they do well. And they may be very passionate, and you might find that, you're moving this person from production to accounting because they seem to do well in accounts and they like it. And this is how you move people around. You engage them. They see that you are appreciating them. So this is a very important point. Use your resources well. Assign tasks to different people. 4, use your estimated cost, because when you're finished, we're going to use these estimated costs to develop our budget. So I want you to, as you go along, identify new markets, develop new packaging. Maybe that's going to cost you $150,000 if $1 sign is 50,000. So as you go along, guess. Don't wait till the end when you cannot finish your plans because you don't know how much it's going to cost to product test. If you don't know, just put anything. You can have a chance to update it later or to get more accurate estimates. 5 is to balance your workload. So this is telling you what your workload is. It's saying that in January have a lot, and just put in some random things. And it's saying that in May you have a lot. So you may want to move some of your things into months when you have a less workload. So balance your work so that, you're going to have to look at what the tasks are, whether you can move them later or earlier. But you don't want, I understand that in the first few months you're going to have to do more. And that's why I encourage, if you have 7 tasks in February, that somehow you outsource some of them. Okay, so you can look when you have a heavy workload and outsource some of them. And the 6th thing is that, and I've seen this happen so often, make sure that your descriptions are clear. So attracting and raising capital, that's kind of clear. Accounts receivables, let's see something that might not be. New facilities, you may understand it today, but in 6 months I'm going to say to you, what did I mean by that? You want to put new facility to increase production capacity. So I usually like to use these spreadsheets to identify features within Excel. So you can use the wrap text to make the words take up 2 lines so that you don't have it being, if you had a figure here, okay, if you had something there, if you had something here, whatever it might be, and you did not use wrap text, you would cut off some of the word. So wrap text so that you can, and this is a KPI, new facility to increase production. That one may not have a KPI. You may want to spend 50 million on it. Okay, so those are 6 things that I could identify to tell you what you must do. And of course, I've described one of them to say what you should not do, which is don't bring nothing to the table. Everybody must come with something. No matter what it is, everybody must come with something. Everybody needs to participate. Okay. So the other thing not to do is to pile on too much at any one time. So it would be, oh, remember you have your regular work to do. Don't pile up everything. So that's the putting together of your spreadsheet and using the cost, the frequency. The frequency is something that is a formula, so you don't have to put it in. Your KPIs, what is your target to complete? And, you can also number these correctly, etc. Use categories. If there is a category that you find you're not using, for example, productivity, although I love productivity, so it's going to break my heart to take it out, but productivity is about how to get more out of your resources. How can one person do twice the amount of work without it seeming like work? But you can delete those. You don't have to keep all the headings. I know the corporate governance will probably be one of those things that nobody puts, but I would definitely not take out corporate governance. So one of the things for corporate governance that I'm going to put in here is to develop the template for monthly reports. You now have a board of advisors. You need to let them see what you're doing. So develop a template. A template just means that you put the headings in a Word document, and in the Word document, you're going to always report on sales. You're going to report on new products status. You're going to report on your financials. So in this case, those would be the 3 headings. I hope I have the opportunity to share with you at a later time that you're going to need, and I heard a friend of mine refer to this as, don't use English in your reports, use numberish. So what that means is that you're going to use data to report your progress. So let's hope I'll get to talk to you more about that, and I'll show you some more samples of what that means. So thank you. That's the end of this second section.